Yeah, Mark. Yeah, hi, Mark.
John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just wrapping up some paperwork real quick and I'll be on. Did you hear me? Did you hear me, Bill? All right, can you hear me now, Bill? Can't hear you. Can you hear me, Bill? I think you might have it muted.
Hey, there's some guys showing up.
Can the other Bill hear me?
Hello, hello.
John, I think your audio's muted.
I don't think so. But whoa, no, it's not.
Nope, it's coming through.
Yeah, I was saying I just got a couple more things of paperwork to wrap up right here and I'll be on.
All right. Bill, have you got everything under control?
I think he's got you muted. I hear you fine.
I don't show it muted.
No, I think he's got us muted where he can't hear us. Can you hear me okay, Bill?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's something on his end there.
Looks
Bill,
like,
can you hear me?
yes.
I'm not getting your audio for some reason. I don't know if I've got something messed up here or not.
I can hear you okay. Looks like the fire station has rearranged their seating again.
Yeah, I've got audio now. My mistake.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good, good. Yeah. I didn't have the speakers turned on. That helped.
Well, my speaker system isn't very good. I even have trouble understanding some voices that it's too much bass or something. I don't know.
Well, how's everybody doing this week?
Pardon?
Oh, hanging in there. How about you, John?
Oh, it's been hectic and it's only Tuesday. So, but that's how it always is coming back from a holiday. So, tomorrow's Wednesday,
Already.
and that means we get closer to Friday.
Look forward to those Fridays, huh?
No, just this one because just all the family. I've had family around since Wednesday. Wasn't able to make the 10-meter net, and it's finally calming down. And then we'll ramp back up, I guess, for Christmas and play the entertainer. But I haven't been on the radio much, not since sweepstakes.
I've
It's been sweepstakes.
Been doing a little FTA. That's about it. Sunday nets.
What's Sunday net?
8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday on 3903 is the Oklahoma phone emergency net.
Okay.
And then at 3:30 in the afternoon is the on 3900 is Oklahoma Aries net on 75.
75, yeah. Yeah. I'll check those out. They're on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, 8 and 3:30.
8 and 3:30. Let's see. I do hop on the Kenwood net, the Kenwood hybrid net on Sunday. It's at noon. See what those boys talking about.
Yeah,
They do one on Saturday on 40 meters and then one on Sunday on 20.
So the 10-meter net, is that a local type net
Yes.
or?
yeah.
Yeah, but it's open to anybody who can hear us.
It's on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 28445 Upper Side Band.
Who's up this week, Bill?
Oh, well,
No, the other Bill.
Oh, the other Bill.
I was asking him who net control was.
Uh,
go ahead, Bill.
Davey is coming
Davey.
tomorrow. I think that's right. Yeah, it's Davey.
Davey. So is your antenna project going right along over there, Mr. Bill, the other Bill?
Yeah. We dug the ditch on Monday from the house out to the tower position. And the guy that was helping me, I told him exactly where the sprinkler line was. And so he dug around where I told him it was, the main supply line that supplies all the boxes. And I'll be danged if we didn't hit it with the ditcher. And it took about a minute to fill that ditch completely full of water. I've got a 3 horsepower pump on that thing and it puts out 20 gallons a minute. So we made a real mess.
Oh, boy.
Cut the wire, control wire and the pipe. He fixed the pipe today, but I've got to get out and splice the control wire back together. There's not enough slack there to, to pull the ends together. So I'm gonna have to splice the piece in, which is gonna be a real pain.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's coming along,
There you go.
making some progress anyway.
Very good.
I had the concrete poured, I guess, last time we were on here, didn't I?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the concrete's been in the ground. That holidays and everything kind of delayed things, so we did do the ditching. So I've got a trench. And I found out how much 2-inch PVC has gone up to. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
10-foot stick up, 2-inch PVC is $18 at Lowe's.
Yeah, everything is just climbing like gangbusters. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I know.
How expensive
and
everything's
fast
gotten.
too.
What's that?
Yeah, and fast. It's not just small increments. I couldn't believe. I had checked at Lowe's on that PVC a couple of weeks ago, and they had a whole rack full of it at $7.95, and I went back and it was $17.95.
Wow.
Jeez.
I finally called around and found some at Ace. They didn't have enough, but they had, I think I got maybe 10 sticks from them.
Have you already got it all?
No, I don't have all of it yet.
I would go to that Habitat place. They got a bunch of that junk. It's on Main Street.
Really? They have PVC in?
Oh yeah, they got all kinds of junk. Pipe.
Well, I'll give that a shot. Absolutely.
I mean, it's worth looking at it. I had somebody break the back of my toilet, the lid, and I went to Lowe's and
Yeah.
I didn't. So I ran over there just out of curiosity, and I was able to find one, and I brought it back, and it fit, and so saved me $50.
Wow. Great.
So, but yeah, I was looking at even stupid stuff like burlap sacks have just gone. I used to be able to get them like $2 a sack. They're up to $7. And that's where I put these leaves in, and I leave them out. And on Monday, they come and pick it up. The city does. Just leaves and branches and junk.
But they have to be in burlap bags.
Well, they have either burlap bags or trash bags, and I'm not spending $30 on trash bags. Just throw them away. Like the big industrial. It's just a cheap way to go to clean stupid leaves up. Undoubtedly we go through trash bags, but not at that rate. Oh geez, I got 25 bags of freaking leaves out here.
If you need any more leaves,
Yeah.
let me know.
No, thank you. And I would have done it last week, but that wind just was a howling, and it's just pointless. I watch those guys at the commercial properties trying to clean that crap up in 40-mile-per-hour wind. I'm like, you're wasting your time. Come back.
Bill and John, I'm going to bail out. I just wanted to check in and see who all was here. So I'll catch you tomorrow night, John, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
And see you soon.
Yep. You have a good night, Bill.
You too. See you, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
But yeah, no, I feel
it
great.
looks like we're going to draw much of a crowd tonight, John.
Well, I was thinking Ken was going to show up.
Yeah, he usually does.
So I figured I'd give him till 7 or whatever. Then I'm not going to go too far beyond myself, just because I'm tired. I love the holidays. Don't get me wrong, but it just kind of messes up the routine.
Yeah, especially you said you had house guests, right?
Oh, geez. I've been cleaning for 5 days. I just,
That'll def
yeah, they're gone.
that'll definitely mess up the routine.
Yeah, they're just gone. And so, and then, but cleaning it up, and I'm not saying we don't have a good time. I'm just saying that it's the work afterwards. And then, you get that 2 days off, and then it messes up the school. And then you got to get everybody. So,
What age are your kids?
11, 9, 7, and 3.
11, 9, 7, and 3. Okay.
Right.
So you've
Three.
got 3 of them in school, I guess.
Yep, 3 girls and a boy. And yeah, oh yeah, just just go right along. So, but yeah, but yeah, he was talking about yeah, 10 meter. Excuse me, I've had this allergy thing because the weather just won't decide what it's going to do. So yeah, 10 meter net is Wednesday night at 8, and then tonight at 8 we'll have the Aries net. That's on the repeater there on 2 meters. And then they do a siren net on Saturday at noon. And I guess, people that live around certain sirens, they volunteer to check them out, make sure they're working.
Yeah. So does like the 10-meter net, is that just kind of a rag chew session, or is that a formalized net where there's a net control and you don't talk unless recognized? Or
Yeah, there's a net control, yeah.
so the idea is you pass messages back and
Just you tell us about your week, tell us what's going on. There's Ken. Just tell us about what's going on, and sometimes it gets into a little rad chew there. And sometimes we get people from out of town. Back when the sunspot was good, about a month and a half ago, we were picking up Ohio, and I think we got West Virginia in there. Arkansas came in, and then now the sunspot cycle's gone back to crap.
really?
Yeah, so it's like 47 up there right now. I'll look at the K index real quick. It just keeps, it's not going like I want it to. But then again, I want to get it back where it was, back in 2013, 2014, where there's 300 up there a day.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, Ken?
Doing okay.
Thank you. How are you, Ken?
I'm okay, Bill. You up and running?
I'm upright. I'm sitting up.
Yeah. There's real quick. Nobody to interrupt. There's 47 spots up there.
Yeah.
So
You've been working some DX, John?
man, I don't know what I told you about last week. Last week, I think I told you about it. I didn't talk much. I contested a couple of weekends ago, and then I think I haven't done. We had the holidays after that, and I haven't done much amateur radio at all. I'm planning on this weekend.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, yeah. So let's see. Cake, man, just the bands are just propagation is just nasty.
Well, a few days ago, I got on HF. I've been working on this moonbound stuff, trying to get the station running. I haven't been on HF very much, but I got on 17 meters a few days ago, and 17 meters was really hopping. I worked a couple of stations in Africa and worked 2 or 3 in Europe, and I worked Alaska, as a matter of fact. If anybody needed Alaska worked all states, that would have been a time to do it.
I need it. That's my last one.
Yeah,
Was that on FT8, Ken?
yeah. Yes, it was. I worked Alaska on CW years ago on 6 meters. I've got it on all bands, even 2 meters, 2-meter moon bounce. But I don't have hardly any on 432. But maybe I'll get going on that here. I'll get this EME station up to par.
Have you got your 2-axis rudder going for moon mounts now?
Yes, I do. That's a Yaesu G5500.
So it'll track the moon now, right?
Yes, I can track the moon with
It's
the
been bright up there too.
computer program. And I have a camera. Up on the 2-meter on the 432 moon bounce antenna, and I can see the moon when the moon's visible. It's not always visible, but I've done that back when I did 2-meter moon bounce, and mainly what it's good for is to get everything aligned. It takes a while to get all the tracking right, and get the hardware lined up with the software so that it's actually tracking right. And if you have a camera, occasionally you can double check to make sure you're still on target. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
Oh, no, you're good.
No. You're not interrupting anything. Just
Did you
shooting the
guys have,
breeze.
what's that?
Oh,
We're just shooting the breeze.
John, I looked at your
Oh, yes.
Kenwood, and it's got another tube in there. It's a driver tube,
Yep.
say Y7 or something. Have you checked that tube?
Yeah, I just switched it out.
You what?
I switched it out.
Okay. One thing that I thought you might try, it's got 6146s in the final.
Right.
Does it have a high voltage fuse that you can take out?
I don't know. I have to look at the schematic.
What was that fuse that you had?
Oh, that was for an amplifier.
Oh, okay.
That was completely different.
Okay. So this is a TS520, right?
No, this is the TS530S.
No, the one that's not working that I was,
The 530S.
okay. You have no RF out?
None.
Okay, well, do you know if you even have high voltage or not?
I haven't checked. I haven't had time this week to even get it up on the bench.
I downloaded the schematic and I think, didn't you give, or you gave me a link?
Yeah, I have the schematic.
You gave me a link to it and I looked at it. And first you need to find out if you got high voltage on the final or not.
Okay.
And you switched out the tubes in the final and the driver tube.
Just the driver tube.
Okay, you haven't done anything with the final.
No.
But you did say you had it tested with the tube test?
Yeah, no, I did have it tested and everything works. I didn't.
Okay, well, I think those are in parallel, which means it'll work on just one of them.
Okay.
So you could try them one at a time in case one of them is bad and the tester didn't catch it. See what I mean?
Right.
So you could do that. And another thing you could do, first thing you need to do is find out if it's got high voltage to it. And if it doesn't, we'll fix that. But otherwise, if it does have high voltage and there's a fuse to the high voltage, take the fuse out so you won't have any high voltage, and then transmit and see if you can hear it in a receiver.
Okay.
That'll tell you if you're getting RF up to the tubes.
Huh, that gets a good, yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, you're right.
So, since you don't have an oscilloscope to
Yeah,
look
I was
at
gonna
it,
tell you that. I don't have an oscilloscope.
but that is one way that you can do a little testing to help troubleshoot it. Well, Bill, tell me about your tower now and your antenna. You're up and running, I guess.
No, that's a quick answer to that. But I did get the ditch dug. We ditched the trench out from the
Yeah.
house out to the antenna on Monday.
Yeah.
And
Got all your cables in there?
well, I don't have the pipe in the ground yet.
Oh, okay.
I was just telling them how much 2-inch PVC went up at Lowe's from $7.95 a stick to $17.95 a stick.
Yeah, whenever I was putting up this little 432 EME antenna, I had most of the PVC, but I had to buy one stick of 3-inch 10-foot section. It was $10. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everything's going out of sight. I mean, prices are really going
Oh
up.
yeah, you're spending a lot of money on this because of that. And we just got through building the garden shed, and we just keep buying more tools and crap. So we got to keep building, put it in.
You sound like me. I've quit trying to kind of quit buying tools and stuff. I've got a shop full of stuff that
Yeah, we got more tools than we do shop. We're running over. And also I bought a new 0-turn lawnmower this year, and I still have the other lawnmower. So I just built a new building so we could get this new lawnmower in, because it's a wider cut and it won't fit in my shop has got 2 doors that open, but they're still not wide enough for this latest lawnmower that I bought. So we built a little garden shop, and we've already got it full of junk.
how big a mower did you buy? What width?
It's a Cub Cadet 54-inch or 56-inch or something like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized mower.
But anyway, we build buildings, and before you get halfway through, you think, man, I wish I'd have made that twice as big.
Yeah, I was just telling John, we in the process of digging that ditch, I managed to cut the main feed to the sprinkler system.
Yeah.
And
it's just a little more work, Bill. A little added work.
It filled that ditch full of water in no time flat.
Yeah.
It happens. I've never seen anybody that did a major digging job in the backyard that didn't dig up the sprinkler at least once.
Well, if it had just been one of the supply lines to the sprinklers, that would have been okay. But this was the main line that runs all the way around and then up into the front yard that hooks directly to the well.
Oh.
So soon as we,
Panicsville to get that turned off.
yeah, my wife was standing out there, and she knows how to turn the pump off. So I said, go turn the pump off. So she turned it off, but by the time she got around there and turned the pump off, it had already filled that ditch brim full.
Yeah.
And
little irrigation going there.
yeah. And
Well, it was easy digging after that.
well, yeah, I guess. I mean, it filled the ditch up that was, dug, but it didn't help any downstream from that. But
Oh.
the really bad part was I cut the control cable too. So I'm gonna have to get down in the ditch and splice a piece in, because there's no slack there to pull the ends together.
Yeah.
And it's got about 7 wires in it, I think. I don't know. So,
You'll get there. It just takes time.
yep, it does.
Oh, we had a good day. We've had some good weather to work outside lately.
Yeah, this next week, the rest of this week, and I think through the weekend is supposed to be fairly warm. Then another cold front's coming in, but I think the rest of this week's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Try to get that pipe in and get the ditch covered up before it rains.
Did you say you put 3-inch pipe going back there, or 2.5-inch,
2-inch,
2-inch?
yeah.
How much is a 2-inch stick of PVC nowadays?
Well, yeah, $17.95.
You're kidding.
No,
For a 10-foot section?
yeah, I'm serious as a heart attack.
Oh,
And it's,
I just got through buying that 3-inch at Lowe's, and it was only $10.
I don't know.
I mean, that's not been a month ago.
I know, but go back and look and price it now. I priced it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was $7.95 for a 10-foot stick.
That's
And I went back to get it. It was $17.95.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
That's, that crap is going to stop building, which is going to hurt our economy.
Well, it's going to slow it down. I mean,
Well, if you don't have good housing going, your economy will slow down.
you're absolutely right. And it will slow down because it's not just PVC pipe. It's
No,
lumber.
it's all the building supplies are out of sight. People
I
will
know.
quit building houses, which means the workers will be out of work, and that's what the beginning of a slowdown.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I couldn't believe that PVC had gone up that much.
I mean, you had 100 foot up or more of PVC at $17 a whack. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I've got about 150 foot to get back there where I ended up putting the antenna.
If it goes up any higher, maybe you ought to dig it up and sell it.
Well, I haven't buried it yet. It's just laying out on the ground beside the ditch. And that wasn't even bell mouth. I wanted bell mouth, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to, just a lot easier to install the bell mouth PVC, but that was just straight sticks. So I have to buy all the couplings too, and the couplings have gone up.
Oh, the couplings are very expensive.
Yeah.
They used to cost you more in couplings than it did a straight 10-foot section of pipe. But that's not true nowadays.
I thought I could maybe find the foam filled PVC, the lighter weight stuff,
Yeah.
because I don't need any, I don't need Schedule 40, but all I could find was Schedule 40. I did find some at a Ace Hardware that was still $7.95. They hadn't repriced it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have enough to do the job. I think I got 10 sticks from them.
Well, that still saved you quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it saved me $100 right there.
Yeah.
Had to do a little calling around, but saved a little bit of bucks. Never mind that.
Wow. But everything's going up, not just building stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear my food bill is like doubled in the last 6 months.
You have to quit eating so much.
That ain't me.
I know it. It's them kids.
hmm
And them kids can put stuff away, man.
You have no idea. Eat, man. Yep.
Well, I did. The other thing I did start on was just barely started, but I did get started assembling the hex beam.
Yeah, you told me that. Said you didn't realize how big it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've sent you a text on that text message. Yeah. Yeah. kind of had to move some stuff around. I made a stand that I can assemble the thing on.
Well, I know, Bill, you'll be glad when you hurry up and get done, but what you're doing now is part of the process,
Oh, it is.
and you will enjoy this as much as anything. I enjoy the building part of it.
I like construction. I mean, I like to build things.
Yeah,
That's why I built my shop out there. I've got woodworking tools in it and welders and
yeah.
sheet metals.
So in your retirement, you can go out there and build whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I've been retired for a while.
Well, not as long as me.
That's true. You retired in 2000, you said, right?
Yeah,
And I didn't retire until 2003.
yeah.
But I started before you did out there.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I started when it was GE.
Yeah, and I started when Honeywell bought it.
Yeah,
I worked there 27 years. And you was there for
31.
31. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good place to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it because I loved electronics and got to do it there. And whenever I didn't have a project going, I could work on a home project. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, and you had all the equipment to do it with.
Oh yeah, I had spectrum analyzers and good scopes, and we had a good parts room down there in the engineering parts room. And
yeah, I miss those Amphenol ring time
yeah,
connectors.
yeah. See, Phil was our parts guy. I don't remember his last name. If I needed a part for a home project, he would scout and get a sample from Texas Instrument or somebody, get 8 or 10 samples for us to play with. We had Troy in drafting. If we needed to build a circuit board, he'd lay out us a circuit board and would run it through the circuit board building people, tell them it was a test board.
It was.
Yeah.
Bill, are you building that hex beam yourself, or is it store bought?
It's a kit, right, Bill?
Yeah, it's a kit from DX Engineering. But there's quite a bit of assembly. But it's much better than building it from scratch.
Yeah.
For one thing, I think people are having trouble getting fiberglass tubing. There's another ham that builds those hex beam kits that's pretty well known. I don't remember what his call sign was, but
KIO here in the United States.
okay. And I was going to order one from him originally. His covers 6 meters also. And I talked to him and he said, I just can't get fiberglass tubing. Said, I'll be glad to put you on the waiting list.
No, that's a shame because, you might double check into that DX Engineering to make sure that there's not a lot of complaints about their longevity, that it's really short. Now, the KIO, there's a bunch of people here in close around Norman that have KIO antennas, and they've been very good. I've got one myself, and it pretty much withstands anything.
But if you can't get them,
Yeah,
can't get them.
right.
You got to get what you can get. I mean, you can get it nowadays because it's getting harder and harder to get stuff.
That might be worth the wait, though, depending on what the weight is. If you don't want to get an antenna that's going to blow down in one of our 60 to 70 mile an hour winds here that we have several times a year.
So far, I've been impressed with the one from DX Engineering. They have a really strong hub, center hub, where all the fiberglass tubes go in.
Yeah,
It looks like it's really well constructed.
it's usually the tubes themselves that end up breaking, and that's usually because they get ice loaded or something. And in Oklahoma, you definitely want to get the ice wires, or whatever they call them, ice cords, or I don't know what DX Engineering uses, but they usually charge extra for the bracing or the cords that support it, an ice load. And you definitely need that in Oklahoma.
That intermediate line that kind of goes at a 45 down to the tubes.
Yes.
I don't even know that they offer that. I didn't see it as an option.
You
I
can
mean,
always brace it up yourself,
Yeah. Yeah, get some,
if you think you need to.
well, once I get it together and take a look at it, I'll have a better idea, but they had a die cast mold made to cast that center section that holds the tubes in. And it looks like it should be hell for stout. I mean, but like you say, I mean, if you get a load of ice, doesn't make any difference how strong the center hub is.
What does one of those kits run for?
It was supposedly $8.95, but that's where the deal on that was. I was reading the manual prior to starting to assemble it, and I got down to the point where it was talking about hooking up the feed line, and they said what they had done all along was included a short coax jumper with a connector on it, and that was the where you attached your feed line. And it got to that section that said, we don't supply this or use this anymore. We're instead using this ballon, which was another $180 for the ballon. And I wrote the guy, I think I told the story, but I wrote the guy that owns the place and complained, and they called me back. They didn't just email me, they called me and sent me a $50 gift certificate, which took a little of the sting out of it. But
So what you gonna buy with that $50 gift certificate?
I've got a whole list of stuff for the next order to DX Engineering. For one thing, I was waiting to buy the coax because didn't know exactly, what the length was going to be with it. So I waited till we got the ditch dug, and now I've got an accurate measurement on it.
Did you talk to the wireman?
I haven't, no. I got on his website and looked on his website, and from what I can tell on his website, he doesn't have any Times microwave cable, the LMR.
Yeah.
But I do have his phone number, so I thought I'd give him a call.
So there is some other LMR 400 that's pretty good, and it's not as expensive as the Times, although I have Times and I have some short pieces of the other. But I can't remember. I bought some LMR 400 Flex from the wireman, and I did that to get around the rotor. I think I sent you an email. Oh no, I posted that on our Discord thing that I used LMR 400 to go around the rotor, because LMR 400 Flex, because it's not as stiff as LMR 400, it's kind of stiff. But this 400 flex is really nice, but it costs more money naturally. But
So is yours just run through 3-inch PVC or what size?
yeah, so I have, I think the one going to my EME tower is 4-inch, but I've got hard line in it and needed a big diameter because that hard line don't bend very good. And all of my bends is like 33 1/3 put together to make the 90. So I have a big turn because I've got LDF 50 going up to that, it even goes up the tower inside of PVC, but my HF tower, I think that's 3-inch diameter PVC on it. I don't remember, but it's a shorter run to it.
The stuff that runs under, the part of it that runs underground, do you have trouble getting water in that?
No, if you do like I do, when you come up out of the ground, you do 180, so water can't get in it. Then you stuff steel wool up in there so the varmints can't get in it. You know, at the house end, it comes up out of the ground and goes into the house. At the other end, when I come up out of the ground, I do 180 degrees. So the water can't get down in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out, I haven't started drilling the hole in the house yet, but I have to figure out some kind of a box to mount to the house to to waterproof,
I just took the can't remember, half a brick and the mortar that's on each side of the half a brick. And the PVC went right through there. Now, of course, I cut the hole on the inside. My walls are 6 inches thick, so I had a lot of insulation in there to get around, take out. But then on the outside, I just caulked it. I think I used that foam in a spray can on one of them. So there's different ways of sealing it. But I didn't do a box. I just stuck the PVC through the wall. And then on the outside, a 90 to go. And you want to do gentle 90s. You don't want to put two 45s together if you can. So it's a lot easier to pull a cable through if you don't have a sharp 90.
Well, the 90s I bought the conduit 90s, the gray ones,
Yeah,
and they're big radius.
yeah,
I think it'll pull through there okay.
yeah, it probably will. And you're not pulling a lot of cables through it, so you'll be okay. Gosh, that blows me away that 2-inch PVC is $17 a stick.
$17.95.
That's just crazy, man. I mean, that's what 4-inch PVC used to be. No, 4-inch PVC wasn't even that high.
No, I don't think so. It's crazy. I was really wishing, I mean, the time I was in there before when I saw it at $7.95, they had a whole rack full of it.
Yeah.
And then I went back and they had some in the rack, but the price had changed a lot. But it had changed at everywhere I called. It was up also. I checked Home Depot, and the only place that hadn't repriced it was, and I think that was a mistake probably on their part, was Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only one Ace around that had it in stock, and that was up in Moore.
Yeah.
But I've got a ditch I've got to fill up.
Yeah.
How deep are you going to bury it?
Oh, it's not very deep. I think we're about down about 12 inches. Just deep enough to hit the sprinkler line.
It don't need to be very deep. Not
No,
like-
that's what I thought. I mean, you know, as long as it got some dirt over the top of it and grass will grow, that's all I'm
Yeah.
interested in. I mean, but I thought that sprinkler line was deeper than it was. I put all that sprinkler system in. Oh, it's been 10 years ago.
Back when you was younger, huh?
Yeah, you got that right. Back when I had some energy.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's slowed me down is my energy level is just,
Yeah. It takes me a lot longer now. I have to stop and rest all the time.
yeah. Well, I'll work a day and then rest a day or something like that. It makes it tough.
I
to
get out there and I try to get out there and work till noon. And then I eat lunch and take a nap. And then I go back out and work a while. But I'm pretty pooped by then.
Yeah, well, you're doing pretty good, I'd say. You sounds like you're doing better than I am. If you can
I
go
just
out there and work that much. I can't take that much.
Well, if you just do a little bit at a time, you can get her done.
Yeah, it just takes longer.
We got time.
But I only got my license renewed back in September, so
Yeah.
you know, I've gotten,
You've gotten quite a bit done since September.
yeah. I've
I see Jason's lurking here.
Yep. Was just trying to see if I could do a WinLink Vera HF and could not get it to work at all.
Bill, have you been doing anything else on HF? I know you listened there a little bit.
no, yeah, I listened with my rabbit ears on 40 meters and I could
Yeah.
I was listening to a guy up in Ohio that was booming in here on my rabbit ears.
That's pretty amazing.
I didn't try transmitting though.
Yeah. I don't think the rabbit ears would, I don't think you'd like them too good. Might work on 6 meters if you get them stretched out far enough.
I saw where David Clare got his hex beam put back up after being on the ground for a year.
Did a storm bring it down or?
Not exactly. First, his mast folded over, and then he left it that way. And we had one of those ice storms, and there's no support. If the hex beam is laid over sideways, you know, the cords are designed to hold the spreaders under tension when they're spread out and facing up. And if you turn a hex beam sideways, well, then the cords just fall loose and there's no support. And so it broke a couple of the spreaders, but he was able to buy those and replace them and got it all put back together again 3 or 4 days ago.
Did he build his from scratch or did he buy a kit?
It's a KIO hex beam.
How does he like it?
Loves it. It's his best antenna. It's my best antenna. although it only goes to 20 meters.
Yeah. So John, you've got a hex beam too?
No, I don't.
Oh, who was talking about having one?
I was just asking you how much the kit was. I was thinking about it. I've heard nothing but good things.
Somebody said it was their best antenna. I
That
didn't
was
catch who.
Carl.
Oh, Carl? Okay.
Yes.
But I got a buddy that's got one. He said it's just phenomenal. So
Yeah, I've had mine up for, I don't know, about 4 years now. And it's went through all the storms and all the ice and everything. And it's always came through just fine. I've never had anything break or mess up. It does have the ice cords. And we've got some, every one of the high winds that's come through here, all the 60, 85 and 115 mile an hour winds that have blown through the Norman area have hit that antenna, and it's survived them all. Hadn't been a bit of problem whatsoever. I do know one thing, that no matter what you put up, it seems to be better if you allow a little bit of slack in all your antenna wires. That allows it to blow around in the wind, just like the branches on a tree. It seems like if you pull those wires tight and make it solid, that's when you start breaking stuff.
I learned that the hard way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, whenever we start getting wind over here, I make sure to add about a foot worth of slack onto my dipoles. And so far, they're still up in the air.
What bands do you work, Carl?
Everything except 160 and 80. 23 centimeter, 70, pretty much everything, UHF, VHF.
You do any digital mode?
No. DMR, if you want to count that.
Nope. Well, I didn't know you had 23 centimeter. This
Yeah, I've got a 9700, just like you.
okay. I don't have an antenna for 1.2 gig. Have some 70 centimeter antenna up. You live in Norman?
Yes. Well, kinda. Northwest of Norman.
Yeah. I have my moon bounce antenna, but it's low to the ground. But up on the tower, I have a homebrew 10 element 70 centimeter Yagi that I can rotate. So we probably could make a QSO on 70 centimeters.
Yep, probably so.
I also
Yeah,
have mine is horizontally polarized.
Well, the only thing I've got on 70 and 23 is a vertical ground plane antenna, and I do have beams for both of those, but I don't have them up right now. They are put together. All I need to do is stick them on a pole, but they're not up at this time.
You know, I guess it's back when we had the contest a few months ago on 2 meter. I worked 8 states one Sunday morning on 2 meters, 2 meter digital mode, FT8.
running.
And I was only running 10 watts. I was using that transverter.
FT8 seems to be real popular on DX Watch, DX Heat, both. It seems like FT8 is about 40 to 50% of the people that are showing up on DX Watch.
I believe.
And then the other half is CW, and it's very few phone stations anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
10%.
That digital mode, FT8 is easy for people to use, and people that don't do CW can do that. And it cuts through the QRM and the noise a whole much better than single sideband does. So you have a better chance of making contacts in a contest. So that's why everybody's jumping on it. It's a weak signal mode, and it's awesome. I mean, before with FT8, I wouldn't have thought it possible that I could work 8 states on 2 meters with 10 watts on a Sunday morning. Who would believe that?
It's pretty phenomenal.
Who was the guy that had the mobile unit, and there's a contest to see how many zones or sections, whatever it
Grid
is.
square. Grid
Who?
squares.
Say that again.
Was it grid squares that was trying to work?
Yeah, grid squares. Yeah, and he had a mobile unit, and he drove around the state of Oklahoma here. I don't know, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, on 2 meters?
N0 something.
Yeah, I worked him. I worked him that same day that I
Okay.
worked 8 states. Hello there.
There's the other Ken.
There's Ken.
Yeah, your sound's off there at the fire station. Yeah, I worked him also, and on 1296, I worked him several different modes: FM, sideband, and something else, I think. And I was a little disappointed because he didn't confirm it on QRZ. He did on Logbook of the World, but not on QRZ.
Yeah. Well, I do Logbook of the World, and that's all. And
Yeah,
you're
that
at
irritates me. Logbook of the World is crap.
Logbook of the World is great.
It is garbage. It is straight junk.
Can you hear me
You
now?
know how to use it.
Yes.
Huh?
I know how
Yes,
to
we
use
can
it,
hear
but
you.
it's just junk.
Hi.
Hey,
Everything I
Yeah.
say though comes over the speakers here in the room. So
maybe you wasn't around, John, when you had to do all of your QSLs by mail and cost $2 to send a QSL card to Europe.
I still do that, but nobody that wants to do that no more.
Well, if you work 40 or 50 stations on a weekend, do you want to send QSL cards at $2 a pop to all of them?
I mean, it depends.
When you can do it for free on Logbook of the World?
Well, no, I prefer QRZ. I think it would work better than, I think they should adopt that through ARRL, but
You know, if you're on QRZ though, you've got you can transfer everything that
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got on QRZ. Just push one button.
that's what I'm saying. I just export it all out.
Yeah.
I think what Carl's saying is you can export QRZ to Logbook of the World. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a one button. You just push the button and boom, there
Yep.
it does it.
Then
So
I
you're
did that.
saying Logbook of the World is okay. You just don't like their interface? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. It's just, it's poorly developed.
I would
I have
agree
no
with that.
problem with it.
What's that, Carl?
Yeah, John, I would agree that, yeah, I don't like the interface at all. And it's just so convoluted and it's not intuitive. You know,
Right.
it does a lot of stuff, but you just have to click, you know, a half a dozen times to get it to give you the information that you need instead of just, you know, instead of it just being there.
Yeah, just, and then the QRZ is just one click login.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention you can read a biography, you can see their pictures, their setup, and
Yeah. Yeah.
can't do that with Logbook of the World.
Well, QRZ don't count toward DXCC or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it does, because you just export it to Logbook of the World.
Yeah, but then Logbook of the World is doing it, not QRZ.
Right. But what I'm getting at is I don't have to mess with the interface. So I just export it through the key and that it does it all for me.
You know, QRZ actually does, you can get certificates for all that stuff, but it is different than Logbook of the World. It's two separate organizations, but both of them issue certificates.
But it's just poorly developed. That's all I'm saying. Matter of fact, I think they're missing out because QRZ is like dominating that.
The
Because if they had
Logbook of the World has been around long enough that they could have gotten that interface.
right, but they refuse to change. So there you go. I mean,
they're probably
I mean,
old folks. They're probably old folks and set in their ways.
no, see, you don't understand, Carl. That's a jab at me.
Yeah,
I was told a month ago I need to come out of the dark ages. So
Yeah, I told him that, Carl.
yeah, it's a jab at all of us.
And he told me I needed to buy a microphone.
well, you got one, don't you? You
Yeah,
got
I got one with my new radio.
Yeah. He ain't gonna use it.
I thought about it though.
No, I mean, I understand where you're coming from with the digital stuff. I do get that.
Well,
It's just not for me.
you can do both.
You know, Bill Baker likes to use FT8 a lot, and we tease him unmercifully at coffee in the mornings about FT8 not being real ham radio.
Oh God, here we go, Ken.
Well, it's all ham radio to me.
Yeah, Ken does it all.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't do phone.
I do every once in a while.
Boy,
You know, Ken, I didn't realize until a week or two ago when I asked you specifically about FT8, I was not aware of how it actually worked. I thought that it went through the internet like
No.
DMR, but you explained it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was really surprised to find out that it was actually a radio signal.
No, it's not. All this digital mode stuff that I'm talking about, the computer generates the tones and it goes from the output of the computer to the input of the radio, goes over the air. At the other end, the radio receives it, feeds the signal into the computer. The computer decodes it and spits it out on the screen. So it's going over the air. It's just that the digital modes are very narrow bandwidth. And for a given amount of power, you're putting all of that power in a signal that's only a few hertz wide instead of a single sideband signal that's 3,000 hertz wide. You can put a lot of digital signals in the bandwidth of one SSB signal, and
it's not radio.
And many, many more in an AM signal like we used to use. You know, AM signal 6 kilohertz wide. JT9 digital mode is 6 hertz wide. Think how many 6 hertz wide signals you could put in 6 kilohertz.
Sure.
Yeah, but FT8 is for weak signal though.
It's supposed to be weak signal mode. You're not supposed to run high power with it, but they do. And that's my complaint.
We're just weak signal.
Wonder what they're working on at the
Looks like they had an old
at the fire
computer.
station tonight.
Looked like an old computer they was working on.
I saw Ken there was carrying around something rather that looks like an old radio chassis.
Or maybe that's what it was.
Did he bring back that Collins?
No, that Collins 51J that Mark had.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh, you know, I remember now. He couldn't find a mode switch. There is no mode switch because it only does AM and CW. So when you're not in CW mode, you're in AM mode.
Yeah, it's not a radio. I just pinned it and it's to the screen and it looks like a oscilloscope.
Oh, that's what they're working on.
Yeah.
Guys, get out of the way. We can see. Oh, shit, they can't. Does look like it.
Oh, I think Sam last week, didn't he say he got an oscilloscope and it didn't work?
Yes, I think that's
So I
right.
bet he took it down there tonight to have them look at it.
Is that the one he got from Denny?
Yeah, because he said it was free, but it didn't work. So I think you're right, Carl.
I can't see that well.
I can't either.
And I'm not sure if Denny got it from an SK or just somebody that was just needed to get out because they couldn't do radio anymore.
There we go. They'll move here. I'll see.
So Carl, how high do you have your hex beam?
Yeah, that's an oscilloscope, Ken.
Okay. Go ahead, Bill.
Sorry.
I've got it at right now. The very top of the hex beam is about 30 feet. The top of the spreaders. I've got it on a crank up pole that'll go up and put it at 65 feet. I've played with it. And it really doesn't make that much difference at all. So I just leave it down at 30 feet all the time. Keeps it out of the pole doesn't blow around in the weather so much. It's not supported. Doesn't have any guy wires on it.
What's the lowest frequency that one operates on, Carl?
20.
20 meters. So it doesn't need to be any
Right.
higher than 30, 35 feet.
Exactly.
I-
And the only difference that it really makes is depending on what the propagation is, that you might get a slightly better signal because of your, depending on the propagation and where it is, you know, that like one day of the year, it might be, you might have a little bit better signal than, you know, the other 364 days a year if you put it up at 65 feet. And so that's just kind of hit or miss. You can't really go by, okay, if I put this antenna up at 65 feet, well, then it's just going to work great all the time. And it doesn't work like that. And mostly because of what you just said, that the, it only needs to be up less than 36 feet for 20 meters.
Yeah, I've heard stories about people that were putting them together and had them out on their picnic table in the backyard and used them sitting on the picnic table, and they worked pretty good.
Yeah,
Lots of stories like that.
yeah. But here's the thing, Bill. You can make something that works, but you gotta ask yourself, how well does it work? You know, like your rabbit ears, it worked.
But not very good.
Yeah. But think how much better it would have been if you'd had your hex beam up in the air and you had a switch, you could switch from it to rabbit ears. That guy would have blasted you out of the room.
Yeah. And I would have been able to hear more than one person.
Right, exactly. So,
Well, I heard him and several people that came back to him,
yeah, well, you did good.
but
You got that radio you bought's got a good receiver in it.
yeah.
You're going to be happy with it when you get that antenna up in there.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Then I've got to learn how to use this radio.
I haven't got a chance to play with mine. There for a while, I got pretty busy learning some things, but I haven't messed with it in a few days. I've already forgot what I learned now. I had to start over.
That's the 9700, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was reading something about that. That thing has a cool computer interface.
yeah, it does. I've got it.
Like you can extend the displays, and it's really awesome. You can control the radio from your computer.
Yep. Another neat thing about it, it's a 3-band, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and 1296. It has an antenna port for each band and a final output circuit for each band. So it's pretty well designed. I'm not a big icon person, but I think this thing is well worth the money. I don't think the receiver in it's super duper, but it doesn't matter to me because I use a mass mount preamp anyway on moon bounce. I got I can't remember what the gain is on that preamp. 22 dB gain and real low noise figure up at the antenna. At the splitter, I got 2 antennas up there. So it's whenever you have each one of those antennas has got 20 elements on them, and you get so much gain with the 20 element antenna, and then when you add another one to it, you don't double the gain. You don't double the 18 dBs that I'm getting from one. You just double it, so you only get 3 dBs more out of it. So I've only got about 20 dB gain antenna up there. But what that means is, if you have 20 dB gain and you have 100 watts, the way you do a quick calculation on that, 20 dBs, you add 2 zeros to your power. That means 100 watts becomes 10,000 watts ERP. So if you have 10 dB gain, you only add 1 zero to it. So 100 watts would be 1,000 watts ERP. So that's a quick way of calculating your antenna gain on these Yagi antennas.
As compared to a dipole.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking DBD, Phil.
Right.
Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here. We got the net and then I gotta go to bed. So
All right, John.
you guys have a great week.
All right. See you next time.
Yes, sir. You guys take care.
Good night.
Night.
Me too. I got to do the net. Good night.
All right, Phil. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Larry?
Not much.
What are you working on tonight?
Nothing really. I'd been over at Hank's earlier to go over some of the financial stuff, but and just got home. Doing a little bit of straightening up a bit, but you got anything going on?
No, not much going on here, Larry. Same old thing.
Hey, there's Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon, what are you doing there? That's a picture of him. He's
Yeah.
trying to make us think he's doing something.
Hang on, start video. Yeah, there I am.
How you doing, Gordon?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody?
All right. Haven't
You
seen you
haven't
for a
moved
while.
yet, have you?
You what?
You haven't moved yet, have you?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Oh, so you're at your new place
Yeah, I'm at my new place, yeah.
and you're already wired in. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you know.
So you got a bunch
Priorities.
of antennas up and everything?
What was that, Ken?
So you have a bunch of antennas up in the air?
Well, no, actually, well, I've got to, when I tried to take my HF antenna down off center fed dipole, it snapped actually when I pulled it out of the tree. It actually snapped just on the other side of the ceramic insulator.
Yeah.
And I at the time had the other half of the antenna wrapped around my butt, and I had my whole weight on the tree trying to pull it out of the tree. And when it snapped,
Yeah, you hit the ground, didn't you?
well, I hit the ground, but before I hit the ground, the ceramic insulator hit me right in the crotch.
Oh.
I mean, it hit me before I hit the ground. So yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I just need to pick up some more wire, really.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need about 150 feet of good coax because I've got to get from this room next door, which I'm happy to say is right where the distribution for the electric board, the electricity is. I've got like 122 steady volts there, so good for my HF amp, you know, because it's not wired for 220. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna
Won't
need
have
quite a
very
bit.
much voltage drop.
Yeah, well, I had quite a bit of voltage drop at the last house because I was at the other end of the house from the, you know, where the supply came in. So there was all that wire to consider. But hopefully it'll be all right this time. And, you know, they'll have a little less HV.
Yeah. What kind of amp you have, Gordon?
It's a AL80B. And I used to get a little bit of HV lag on it, you know.
Yeah.
From the voltage drop, you know. So, but hopefully not this time. So I've got a few VHF repeaters plugged in around here. I don't think I've got the right ones.
So where are you located at now?
Fairfax, Virginia.
Fairfax, Virginia.
Yep, which is what, 10 miles west of DC.
Yeah.
But
So
I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, I hope you still like it in the wintertime.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It was actually supposed to snow this morning between like 4 and 6 a.m., just like a light dusting, but we didn't get. You guys got what, 70?
70 degrees. No wind either, man.
Oh man,
It was like 6 mile an hour wind out of the southeast.
And we actually set a new high record today for this date.
Yeah.
Nice.
What was it, 76 or something?
75, I think.
75?
75 at the end of November.
Well, yeah, but I tell you, we've had a kind of a cold fall. I mean, my wife was complaining that we hadn't had a fall, but we're getting a little fall weather now. Actually, it's almost summer weather.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, tomorrow, Gordon's 1st of December, and it's supposed to be up for the next few days. It's going to be up in close to 70. But we've had that a lot in December. I've seen a lot of 70-degree days in December. We don't really get too bad until January and February. Is you know that you lived here.
Yeah, my first winter in Oklahoma was an ice storm. I guess that was February 2002. That was pretty brutal. I was living out in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have any electricity for 3 weeks. We were on the Cimarron Electric Cooperative. That's
Yeah.
what we were using, and I guess it took down most of their poles. They said their poles would, if they lined them up end to end, would go from like Los Angeles to Georgia. The ones that they had to replace, so unreal, man.
Yeah.
3 weeks with no power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've done 10 days with no power here. Well,
yeah. What did we do? What was that last October? Last October.
I want to say it was 6 or 7 days.
Yeah, it was quite a while. I kept the old. I went and bought a big AGM deep cycle battery, and I had a big inverter, and I could run my freezer, and then I had to keep topping it up from the car.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's the deal with Elmer Night now? I see we've got like a camera at the actual fire station.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
So do those guys interact with us, or is it like two separate things?
Yeah, well, occasionally they get on and talk to us. They're kind of privileged, so they don't have to talk to us.
Yeah, those peons down here. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I did threaten to show up on an Elmer Night, so.
Well, I'm glad you showed up.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm still a paying member, so why not?
I bought a new ICOM 9700. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Do you like it?
So far, it's a 70 centimeter, 2 meter, and 1296.
Yeah, 1296. Yeah.
Just 3 vans, and I've got a Leo Bodner GPS hooked up to it, and I've got the mod in it that actually keeps the thing on frequency.
What do you mean it keeps it on frequency?
Yeah. It drifts if you don't do this.
What drifts? The ICOM?
Yeah.
Up on 1296, you mean?
Oh, even on 70 centimeters.
Why would it drift?
I do digital mode, Gordon, on moon bounce.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Digital mode on moon bounce.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
You can't drift, or the other station won't decode you.
Man. Yeah. I've never really got into the digital modes, I did a PSK31 and for a bit, but yeah, never really got into the digital stuff. I like voice,
Yeah, you and John.
Is that drift because the bandwidth is so narrow on the digital modes?
The bandwidth is narrow.
Is that why if it has any drift that it loses the signal, is because it's so narrow?
Right.
It must be, and it must have a very steep skirts too,
Yeah.
I mean, like with FM, you can, you spread a bit, so you can have a little bit of leeway. But like you're saying, if it's like that, and even it's gone.
I think on moon bounce we use JT65, and the bandwidth on that's about 50 hertz.
That's pretty slow, isn't it?
But some of the digital modes, one of the digital modes that I used on 630 meters, I worked Australia on 630 meters with 5 watts, Gordon. And the
5 watts?
Yeah. The mode that we used is JT9, and the bandwidth is 6 hertz.
Wow.
So you can see that you can't drift very much. if
Yeah.
the Full bandwidth is 6 hertz.
Wow. Wow. That is, yeah, that is very, 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 very narrow. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it like is it just FSK?
Yes, it is. Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah. 6 hertz. No room for I mean, you almost need cesium oscillator for that, right?
Yeah. Well, we use GPS locked. We lock our oscillator.
Yeah. Yeah, there you
to
go.
GPS at both ends, so we're both pretty much on frequency.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So what about can these guys hear us and stuff? Or
And another problem that you run into, see this digital mode signal that we use on moon bounce, it's transmits for 1 minute. So you can't drift for 1 minute. You got to be rock solid for that whole minute.
you have to correct for Doppler too.
Yes, we have to correct for Doppler.
Wow. That's pretty involved actually. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And how are you going frequency, the more Doppler shift you get.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So on 630 meters, it's maybe a little bit forgiving.
well, I'm doing 432 megahertz now, 70 centimeter moon bounce. But there is some guys on 1296 also.
Yeah.
Gordon, are you still working on microwave antennas?
Well, I mean, not professionally. I mean, well, okay, so that's yes.
So you're not with the same company that you were when you were living in Norman?
No, I was with remote control company, industrial remote control company in Oklahoma, but now I'm with a security company, basically a connected world company, you know, Internet of Things. And so yeah, I mean, a lot of our stuff is up in 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz, which is, you know, you can consider that microwave. I mean, microwave ovens 2.4 gigahertz. So yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna be doing the same stuff. So yeah. I'm not so much. I mean, there was a time there when I was doing microwave links like 6 and 24 and 20, 23 and 24 gigahertz microwave links like across states, you know, like 10-foot dishes, things like that. So, but that was a while ago. So I'm not really doing high power stuff like that. But yeah, it's mostly low power, battery operated, low power RF stuff. So, but yeah, so the antenna needs to be very efficient, obviously, because you're using milliwatts, you know. So I guess yes. All that to say yes, but just different company.
I guess you're pretty close to the FBI training center there in Virginia.
Is it, where is it?
Quantico.
Yes, yeah, that's down the river, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
CIA is at Langley, which is also really cool.
Yeah, I guess everybody's here. That's what I was saying to my friends. I was like, where you moving to? I was like, Virginia. I said, everything's here. If the nukes fly, I'll be the first to go. So I'll see you later. But yeah, it's everything's here, I guess. I really like it, actually. I've not really been, I had a good look around. Me and Amy's driven around about. You've explored more than I have.
Yeah, you've gone to like Walmart.
Hey, I went to Target. Come on.
Okay, you went to Walmart and Target.
But yeah, so it's beautiful. It really is, and it's just a different world. Getting used to it, you know. It's gonna take a while after 20 years in Oklahoma. That's for sure.
Well, your accent hadn't changed from being here 20 years.
Do you not think? It's a lot. Yeah. It gets worse when I get on Skype with my parents or somebody back in England. You know, full on then. You know. Yeah. But I was once I get an antenna up, I am hopefully you guys will be on like 10-meter net or something. Maybe I can make that
Yeah.
hop, you know?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe 20 meters too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be really trippy. That, like, you know, just to be able to talk one of you guys, like, you know, through the
Hey, I worked a guy named Keith in England. His call sign is G4FUF. I worked him on 432 moon bounce
wow,
just the other day.
That,
432 megahertz moon bounce.
yeah, that's awesome, that, man. Moon bounce. Yeah, I never got into cool stuff like that. I just wanted, actually, I mean, I just wanted my ham license so I could get on weather nets, because I got obsessed with severe weather when I was living in Oklahoma, you know. But then I was like, wow, yeah, I remember the old days where we used to talk to Europe from the coast of England on 11-ish meters on sideband. And I was like, well, you know, let's get into some HF stuff. And I'm glad I did. I really enjoy it.
I worked England on 630 meters. That's 475 kilohertz.
That's wild. That's wild. What sort of propagation is that?
Well, it's skipped, you know, it's kind of like 160 meters. But it doesn't happen very often down that low frequency.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of antenna were you using, Ken?
I was using a 60-foot vertical with, I've got 3 45-foot top loading wires on it and a great big loading coil at the bottom of it.
That's
Got
gonna
a
be
picture of that on your
expensive.
website, don't you, Ken?
Yeah, there's a picture of it on my website is K5DNL.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I like the old picture of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, Bill, you can see that antenna on if you go to QRZ, looking up on QRZ.
Okay.
QRZ.com, plug in my call sign K5DNL. There's a link in there to my website.
I really like that the ability to visualize the current and the voltage on the scope. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
See, I built those and sold them up until, matter of fact, I quit selling them last of last year, and I'm still getting people wanting to buy them from me.
Yep.
And I had quite a few of them, and I've sold them all, and I've sold a few amplifiers, and I just don't want to build anymore. And now I'm getting back into moon bounce, and I just don't want to do that anymore. It got into a problem of buying parts and all that kind of stuff, scrounging. Plus, I was the janitor and the CEO and the parts orderer and the parts builder and the run through the post office crap. I just got tired of it.
The whole deal. Oh man.
I wonder what they're working on at Elmer night. I don't remember his name, but it looks like he brought in the magnifying sheet that's on the front of a TV, and it's laying on that desk now. It's about I don't know, 3 foot by 3 foot.
Magnifying glass. Huh?
Yeah, that's on the front of a big screen TV.
Oh, that's a Fresnel lens.
Yeah, Fresnel lens.
I think that's what that is.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take that out in the sun.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of those. Got a couple of those over here that I was going to make into a solar cooker. And
wow.
But really, there's several different types of those and some of them work a lot better than some of the other ones.
Solar cooker, that's a cool idea.
See, and I was thinking about using it for photography. Put a flash behind it, and it'll be lens will concentrate that light out there, man. And
I guess it depends on which side you put it on, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be awesome. I just unpacked my photography stuff, so I'm busy.
You do some photography, Gordon?
Yeah, I'm a one of these Nikon kind of guys.
Yeah, I'm a Nikon guy.
Ah, nice. There's
Yeah.
nothing super special. It's a D7500,
Yeah,
and that's
I-
this is
I have a
it.
D610 that I use.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, yeah, I like it. It's my other hobby,
Yeah.
I guess.
Nikkor lens is the only way to go.
That's my man. Yeah, really good for just super sharp.
I used to do wildlife photography too.
Oh, I got a buddy that does that. He's really good. Actually, there's no way I could do that. Just the stuff he comes up with, I'm like, man, there's no
Yeah.
way I could produce
It's
something.
hard. It's hard work, I guarantee you.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. If you spend the money on that's like the ham radio stuff, innit? Don't freak out about the body too much.
Yeah.
That's analogous to the radio.
Yeah,
Get yourself some good glass, and that's your
that's
antenna.
right. I had some big glass. I had a 500 f4 Nikkor and a 300 2.8. And then I had some small lenses, lots of small lenses. But I had another really nice lens that was I still have it. It's a Nikkor 200 millimeter macro with a rotatable collar on it. And I use that for butterfly photography because the rotatable collar, I put a bracket on it and put 2 flashes on it, and you can rotate. You have the lens mounted to the camera, but you mount the flashes to the rotating collar, and then you can change that from vertical to horizontal pretty easy. And plus, with a 200 millimeter macro, you get a little bit of distance between you and the butterfly, and it don't scare them off. So
That's awesome.
There's a 200 millimeter f4 EDIF lens, the low distortion optics, internal focus.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Nice. For macro, I've just got a 50 millimeter, and I just take it off and turn it around.
Yeah. I've done that before.
It works pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't really got that many good lenses. Really, just like the ones you need. 35, 50, a few non-prime lenses, but yeah, I like it. It's fun, and plus I can play around with this while I'm waiting on all of my stuff. I don't ever cross the country, and well, I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, there was we had a moving company, and the company I'm working for paid for it all, and they did like a full pack, and they packed things we told them not to, and didn't pack things we told them to, and so consequently my green card is amongst all of the stuff, which is somewhere between Texas and here. And I've needed it because I've been starting work, so
yeah, you're gonna need that.
Yeah, what a pain in the backside. Who's this blue guy? There's a blue guy. I've got the Elmer up on the big screen, so I'm trying to see.
I think that's Mark. Mark
Klein?
No, the other Mark.
Ooh, I don't think
Mark.
Who's that? That's him in the background, isn't it? Clinton? Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. I don't recognize the suspenders.
W5 LHG. Yeah, he's not there anymore. Maybe he ran over to Elmer. There we go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some antennas up in the air there, Gordon.
I'm really happy. We've got these really tall trees out the back, and it's a distance from the house. That's why I need the 150 feet of coax.
Yeah.
But it's perfect for just I'm just a fan of good off-center fed dipole, or just stretch. I want to stretch between a couple of trees. It's going to be very easy.
Yeah.
Um,
You get it up in the air too, you won't need that amplifier if you get that thing up that high, if you get that antenna up there.
yeah, it was at about 20 feet at the old place, but it looks like I can get like at least 40. So
Yeah.
that'd be good. It'd be good for the lower bands. I've always had a 20 meters has kind of been my sweet spot with that antenna only being about 20 feet off the air,
Yeah.
20 feet, 25 feet off the air, so off the ground. So now it'll bring into, say, 40 meters was doable for me with the amplifier, but I was probably running a bit too much power in the coax with that much of mismatching it. So I could just imagine the coax heating up.
40 meters is really good band in the wintertime. So
I like 40 meters, yeah.
You'll be able to work a bunch of Europeans.
Yeah,
Where you're at.
That'll be, I kind of wait. I wonder what the orientation of my antenna is going to be, north-south.
Yeah, you try to get it broadside to Europe if you can.
Broadside to Europe.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be
The dipole
north-south.
broadside to Europe. That'll get you started, I guarantee you.
All right. Well, it sounds like I've got a plan. I just need to lay out about $250 in coax.
Hey, you can ask Bill about that.
Oh,
Bill,
really?
He bought some coax. He bought some high dollar LMR 400.
Yep.
Well, actually, I haven't ordered it yet. I was just waiting till I got the ditch dug so I could take a real accurate measurement. I didn't want to buy, just buy an extra 20 feet to,
Of course, he didn't know.
Exactly, because it's another $40, $50.
He didn't know it was going up $1 a foot every day that he worked on that ditch.
Oh yeah.
And I hope I checked the price on it. It's still about the same as it was. It's one thing that hasn't gone up yet.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it will.
I'm thinking, because I don't really, what would the only thing I'd be concerned about with that antenna is it does cover 6 meters. So I'd be concerned about the loss at 6 meters. Otherwise, maybe even, let me work this out here. Times microwave calculator.
Yeah, that LMR 400 is really low loss stuff, but you probably won't really have to have it on the lower bands,
Yeah,
you don't have much loss on till you get up.
RG8 at, let's say, 14 megahertz with 150 feet.
I use a 213 going back to my 60-foot vertical.
Okay.
So I've got 200 feet of RG 213 underground going back to a 60-foot vertical.
So RG8 at 6 meters.
Yeah, well, that's what 213 is, RG8 size.
Yeah.
But it's lower loss than RG8, and it has a good moisture barrier.
Is it
RG 213, Gordon?
213?
Yeah.
It says 2.3 dB loss in 150 feet. I'd like to have less than that, because it's approaching 3.
That's at what frequency, Gordon?
That's at 6 meters, 6 meter band.
Okay, and it's how much loss?
2.3 dB. It's almost 3 dB,
Yeah.
So.
That's not too bad.
And what kind of coax is that?
RG 213.
Oh, okay. Yeah, LMR 400 is less than that.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, a lot less. Half that loss.
It might be less than a dB actually for 150 feet. Well, maybe around a dB. Hang on, let's see. SL. Can't find it. LMR 600. That's what you want.
That's what I've got going up. I've got that going to my 6 meter antenna and my
really.
10 meter.
That's
my 10 meter. I've got a 10 meter 5-element monobander that's got oh no, I forgot. It's got LDF 50 going to the 10 meter one, but
that's a hell of that's a proper coax right there, isn't it?
But I've got LMR 600 is pretty low loss.
Yeah, LMR 400 over 150 feet is 1.5 decibels, so that's really good.
That's really good, yeah. And LMR 600 that I've got going to the 6-meter antenna. I think it's about a dB loss probably.
I'm gonna have to buy LMR 400 really, aren't I?
LMR 400 is really good, low
Yeah.
loss, and it's rugged coax. It's a little bit stiff, and that's why.
Yeah. You can get the Ultraflex version of it, but
Yeah, I use that flex to go around the rotor.
oh, okay, yeah. Is it
That's
quite flexible?
Yeah, there's some LMR 400 flex. It's real flexible to go around the rotor. But if you're not using a rotor, you don't have to worry about that.
I can tell you who has the lowest price right now on the LMR 400 is Ham Radio Outlet.
HRO, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is there one up here? Oh, are you kidding me? There's a HRO right next to me.
Well, you won't even have to pay. Well, they pay shipping anyway, but yeah, you can go down there and have it spooled off. Yeah, they were when I checked on it last, it was about $1.20 a foot at Ham Radio Outlet. It's DX Engineering is $1.30 something. So it isn't, not a lot of difference, but start adding up 150 feet, it's a little bit.
If you want the real IM times microwave, like they developed the LMR series, 250 feet is $540 on HRO.
Yeah.
Jeez. 150, that's what I want there. 150 packs coax jumper. 234.95. Jeez. Well, okay.
234 for 150 feet.
234.95, yes, sir.
235.
234.95, yeah. Yeah, pretty much 235.
Well, that's $1.56 a foot.
Maybe I'm just looking at the wrong thing.
They have about 4 or 5 different versions of the LMR 400.
Yeah, is it the times, Gordon?
I was looking at the times microwave one. Yeah.
Well, that's the good one, and that's the original.
Yep.
But there's a lot of spin-offs from that are pretty good, but you're not going to save a lot of money by even going to them. I don't know. I've used some of that. I can't remember what the brand was, the LMR 400, but it's not the times. And it seems to be okay. I've never had a problem with it.
Well, DX Engineering has their own version of it. They don't call it LMR. They call it something else 400. And it's a little bit cheaper than the
times.
Yeah, than the times microwave.
But I mean, if you're talking 10 or 15 cents a foot, go for the times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I did a LMR 400 for ham radio post a long time ago on my blog, where I sort of covered it all. Let's see. Yeah, that's like, so at 40 meters, if you use RG 213, 89 watts gets to your antenna from your transmitter, from your 100 watts.
Mm-hmm.
At 6 meters, that goes down to 72 watts. Yeah, so 144 it goes down to 58 watts, and 440 it goes down to 56 watts.
Yeah, you don't want to use it up there.
Yeah, I was just looking. I mean, like if you look at 6 meters, 72 watts gets to your antenna.
That's not too bad.
If you use 213, yeah. So yeah, LMR 400, 81 watts would get. So you get 9 more extra watts getting to your antenna. And what's that in the big scheme of things?
At the other end, they'll never know the difference.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 213. I think I'll just get some 213. It's not like I use 6 meters a lot,
Yeah. Well, if you're putting up a dipole, you're probably not going to have 6 meters on it anyway.
It does actually, believe it or not. Yeah. Yep. The offset fed dipole does. It's
So you're going to use an off-center fed dipole.
Yeah.
And you're going to use it on will it go, how low will it go down to?
It goes down to 40 meters and it goes up to 6 meters.
Yeah.
It's you can use it on 80 with a built-in tuner, generally. So
with a good tuner.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could use anything you like with a good tuner, right?
Yeah.
Piece of string.
Yeah.
Fence. I know somebody that's loaded up a fence before.
Yeah, well, you can load up anything, but how well is it getting out?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Absolutely. So $120 on Amazon for 100 feet of 213.
It's got connectors on it.
It does, huh? Yep. Yep. PL 259.
See, that'll work through 80 through 10 easy and not have much loss.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good coax. That's what people use before LMR.
I'm gonna do what Bill did. I'm gonna actually dig the trench and measure it, or else I'll end up buying all sorts of stuff that I don't need.
Yeah, and you don't want any splices underground.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yep. Unless you're gonna cover it in that butyl rubber sticky crap. Yep. Cool. That's awesome. Well, I just moved, so I've got no money. So this is for my first paycheck. All right. Very good. All right. Well, I'm an hour ahead of you guys. It's after 9:30. I'm gonna wind down and chill out and get ready for tomorrow. It was good to dive in and say hi.
Good to talk to you. You come back and see us.
Yeah, I absolutely will. Good to talk to you guys too. And yeah, we'll see you later.
All right. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye, guys. Yes. Do I want to leave? Yeah. There you go. Cheers.
Well, I think I'm going to sign off too, guys.
It's 8:35. Yeah. Well, Bill, I'm glad you're making progress over there.
Slow, but some progress anyway. In fact,
it takes time.
Knock out a little bit each week, maybe, and I'll eventually get there.
Yeah, we got another good day tomorrow to get out and do a little work.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you later.
Okay.
If you need anything, holler.
I will. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you later. Larry, we're going to run off and leave you.
Oops, I was muted.
it.